In this video I have for you 18 go-to gimbal moves to inspire you for your own videos. They will add some serious production value to your videos and will instantly take your footage to the next level. Each shot I will demonstrate so you can learn how to do it, and I'm going to start off with some simple easy shots for beginners and will become more advanced and complex for more experienced gimbal users. The crane shot, one of the easiest shots to do as a beginner and a true classic shot. Find a subject to reveal in the background and something in the foreground to block the view, like this old stone wall here, and then crouch down behind the foreground so that it hides the background subject, and simply slowly stand up, keeping the gimbal as steady as you can, revealing the subject behind. But make sure the focus is on the background object and not the foreground. The dolly slider, another classic cinematic shot and a must-learn shot for beginners. Put the gimbal into pan follow or tilt locked and then lean to the side, trying to keep as steady as possible. Slide close to some foreground interest like this wall that I chose, and bend your legs and then lean to the side. The result is a true classic elegant sliding shot. The dolly reveal, yet another Hollywood classic, just like the crane shots used to reveal something of interest in the background. Find something of interest to reveal like this beautiful window, and something to hide behind like this column, and then slowly slide past the column, revealing the subject behind. Make sure to lock the focus on the background subject and not the foreground. Also try experimenting with the different zoom settings on your phone, as this can create some multiple shot variations that we have here. The push through, another really easy shot for beginners that always looks great. Find something to push the gimbal through like this window. Put the gimbal onto pan follow or tilt lock and just slowly push the gimbal through the gap. The result is a lovely, almost drone-like shot flying into the scene. The pull through, perhaps even more epic than the previous shot, is the brother of the push through. Simply do the opposite and extend the gimbal through the opening and then slowly pull back. The spin reveal, a fun shot to reveal two equally interesting subjects near each other. Here's the first subject, and we also have a second subject. Simply just pause on the first subject and then carefully pan the gimbal and bring it to a stop on the second subject. The shot works really nicely with a speed ramp effect. The column slider, an interesting shot to transition between two adjacent scenes. Similar to do as the push through, but instead the camera looks 90 degrees at the column of the window instead. The parallax slider, a stunning move that will add instant depth to your footage. We are looking for a scene where we have multiple layers, and here we have 4 layers of depth, some foreground, midground, background and far background. And then simply slide sideways for some distance with your feet, keeping the gimbal nice and level. The result is a shot with different layers moving at different speeds, adding distance and depth. The parallax tilt-up slider, a variation of the previous shot where we tilt the camera up for a more interesting and unusual angle. Not only does the shot work going forwards, but also try moving backwards for another alternative shot. The push forward, a fantastic epic shot for showing off a large building such as this ruined abbey. Hold the gimbal at 45 degrees with it level, and then straight in front of you and walk heel to toe towards the building over some distance. This shot adds drama to the building. Throw on a wide angle to increase the effect. The push forward tilt up, a perfect shot to show off interesting and vaulted ceilings such as this medieval one. Use the gimbal joystick to tilt the camera up at an angle and then walk carefully forwards. When walking, try to do the heel to toe method to smooth out the shot. The orbit, often used with people and works equally well with buildings. The orbit adds class to any shot. Keep the camera focused, locked on a focal point on the building, and walk sideways in an equidistant circle partially around the building. It's quite tricky to walk and concentrate on the building at the same time. but try to keep the rotation focal point near the middle of the frame to enhance the rotation effect. But it's actually quite hard to do, and it may take a number of attempts to do this successfully. But the result is a truly epic and cinematic shot of the building, adding some class to your video. The parallax, reveal and frame, an unusual and inventive shot. We are looking for a main subject to be our focus, and then an object to hide the main subject like this wall, and for parallax we need some regular objects for the foreground like these columns. We start behind the occlusion object and then slowly walk to the side, keeping the focus on the main subject, and then stopping when the main subject is revealed inside a frame. So it's a complex shot with a dolly reveal, a parallax slider, and a finish with a frame effect. Try different zoom levels with your phone to get interesting alternative shots like we have here. The fake crane. Mimicking a large Hollywood crane jib, it's like a crane shot but on steroids. You'll need an extendable selfie stick for this one. Get the gimbal into the torch position, set the focus on the background subject, and smoothly raise the gimbal up and forward at the same time, almost flying over the foreground, and stretch your arms out as far as you can. It's a challenging shot as it requires a lot of upper body and arm strength to support the weight of the gimbal while trying to keep balance and keep things steady at the same time. Now make sure you're not in continuous focus mode, otherwise the camera will focus on the foreground and the subject is blurred initially, and then it will come into focus, which is not what we want. So set to single focus and then lock the focus on the background object. The lean back, tilt up and frame. A surprisingly challenging shot to do. First find some subject of interest, and then some object in the foreground to act as a transition boundary, and then reframe the same subject through a different viewport which acts as a frame. To do this shot, lean forward focusing on the subject and then pull back, and at the same time tilt the gimbal upwards and then lean backwards until we have reframed the subject in the new viewport. But the resulting shot is truly stunning and at a speed ramp for a dynamic effect. The ground slider tilt up, a more dramatic and epic version of the push forward with the added tilt upwards. For this we need an extension selfie stick and secure it to the gimbal. Extend the selfie stick out and slowly lower the gimbal into the torch position and then completely upside down. Put it into the follow mode and use the joystick to tilt the camera a little upward to see the top of the building, and then move carefully towards the building, bringing the gimbal upwards when we're close to the building. The result is a real sense of drama and cinematic quality for the shot. The wall slider. Now this is similar to the dolly shot, but we are sliding along the length of the wall with the wall moving towards the camera instead. Again on the extended selfie stick, push the gimbal over the wall, trying to keep it level and steady as best you can. Then push out the gimbal as far away from you as you can. The pullback, tilt down, a reverse version of the previous shots, so it could be used for ending a scene for example. It's a bit more tricky because we are moving backwards and trying not to fall over while we're bringing the gimbal down, and while we're tilting it downwards till we're level with the ground. Trying to keep the top of the building in view, watch the gimbal doesn't rotate when moving backwards like in this shot, and also be careful that the gimbal head doesn't appear in the shot as well. Okay, so that's it. There's my 18 go-to gimbal shots to inspire you for your own videos. Start with the easiest first and then work up to the more advanced when you're more confident. Get out there and have fun with your gimbal. If the video is useful, of course hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.